Hello and welcome to a rather different video where we are doing an anti-haul on books, because why not? What else should I be doing on a Sunday morning? I just want to preface this with these are my opinions, these are my decisions. It doesn't mean that if you like these books or these authors, that doesn't mean that you're wrong. Just means that they don't feel like a good fit for me, so please don't come at me. This is not judgment on your preferences or your tastes or what you prefer to read. This is simply me sharing what I don't want to read. Okay, so let's get to it. She says and has done a bit of an anxiety attack because I'm pretty certain that because the first person on my list is actually Colleen Hoover. Now, I've seen a lot of people talk about her books on YouTube in particular, and I have read some Goodreads reviews. Suddenly I couldn't remember the word, and so opinions are divided, which is good because if we all had the same opinion, life would be really boring. The thing about Colleen Hoover is I decided to use my two little brain cells, rub them together and see what would happen. And what I did is, as I always do, I read the blurb on the back. I read the synopsis that sells you on the book. And judging purely from those, I don't feel like Colleen Hoover's books are a good fit for me or my mental state. Mind you, I'm also not reading George R.R. Martin, his series of Ice and Fire, simply because I don't like grim dark stories. I don't like excessive violence or abuse or violent deaths, let alone all together in the same scene. I appreciate that there are people who read it, who enjoy it and find something to take from it, but those type of books just aren't my cup of tea. So Colleen Hoover and George R.R. Martin, I'm just skipping it. My motto is basically, if rather than read something purely because it's popular, when you know that it isn't a good fit for you, you decide to follow the trend and read it and hate on it and hate on the story, hate on the author, hate on the fans, which I've seen happen again and again and again. I simply decide to not. I'm not reading those books, therefore I am not hating on them. Since I'm not hating on them, I'm not spreading negativity. Yet another very popular famous author would be Sarah Jessica. Is it Jessica? Sarah J. Maas. For no particular reason, that just her series just don't appeal to me. A Court of Thorns and Roses. It does have aspects that are interesting, sound interesting, but the actual genre is just doesn't appeal to me. It just... So instead of, yet again, diving into it and then not liking it and then spreading negativity, I'm skipping it. Same with the Crescent City series. Mainly because when I've seen people talk about it, they say it's a lot like, what do you guys call it? Akatar. You're so cute! So, pass. And then we get to two specific books that I'm not going to read. The first is Where the Crowd Doth Sing. Well, first off, I just got really bored of seeing it being advertised everywhere I went. Wherever I do buy books, Where the Crowd Doth Sing, every single time, everywhere, and it doesn't appeal to me. It just, reading the synopsis is just, no, just no. And then I hear about the author and her husband, how to put it, white knighting it in Africa and potentially having murdered quite a few people based purely on, oh, we have the right because we are white people with money. Essentially, allegedly. I apparently have to say that allegedly. And then I'm just less likely to read that author's books because can white people please just stop pretending that they are better than everyone else? It was tired 200 years ago. It was tired decades ago, and it's really, really needs to be put to rest. Okay? Okay, can we do that? Please. Thank you. And the last book I was actually excited about when I was reading about it on Waterstone's webpage. It sounds interesting. It sounds really, really intriguing. You have these magical kingdoms that for some reason have to fight one another at a specific time because magic, and then you have a young queen who has to go fight for her life and the life of her people. It's like, sounds intriguing. How are you going to do that? And turns out the author is not quite honest about what she was working on, and apparently the story doesn't bring what she was promising people all over her TikTok feed or every single one. I don't really follow her on TikTok, so I'm quite out of the loop there, but she made quite a few promises about certain things, and then when people were getting the advanced copies, practically nothing of those things were in the story. And on top of that, the story is apparently badly written, which is, if you're gonna write a book and publish a book, write it well, have it edited. And apparently saying that the author did not want her story edited. She did not want any kind of criticism, and if you're going to write and publish a story, have it edited down to the bone. It's painful, it hurts, I'm sure of it. It probably runs the heart out of your chest to have your baby, your product, your heart and soul squeezed and squeezed. But it has to be done in order for you to deliver a good book. Being obstinate about not having your book edited is basically telling your readers, like, here is my unedited second draft, and you're just gonna be happy with it. People aren't happy with it, so disappointing for the book itself to be badly written and apparently very, very confusing, which is, you're not writing philosophy, you're writing fantasy. So but yeah, that is my short little video on the books that I am not buying and authors that I'm just not interested in. Various reason. I don't really know if Colleen Hoover or Sarah J. Maas have any problems, such as the authors of Will the Crab That Sing, which honestly, that person is definitely the worst out of the bunch, because we are talking about someone potentially taking away other people's lives. And the second after that would have to be also a Lightlord, simply because putting your ego first before your readers and your readers' expectation is not good. You just do not end up with a project that people are interested in reading. So in light of that, Colleen Hoover and Sarah J. Maas, they don't sound that bad. They just aren't writing stories that I'm interested in. At least I don't know if they're problematic, so at least there's that. So yeah, thank you for watching, hopefully to the end, and do tell me if there are any authors that you just don't read, not because of any no personal attacks, please, but if there's any authors that you don't read and why, or there's maybe some book that you were extremely excited about and then found out, so yeah, that is enough for me right now. Hopefully you like this video, and I will hopefully see you some other time. So take care. Bless.